Hi, welcome back to my channel. Let us talk about strings today. Strings in Python are surrounded by either single quotation marks or double quotation marks. Here we can see we have created two strings. Hello in double quotation is equals to hello in single quotation. To print the string to console, we can use Python built-in function print. Here we can see the output is printed to console. Now, what exactly the string is? In Python, string is any data that is surrounded by either single quotation marks or double quotation marks. Now, this is called string. We need to make sure that whenever the string starts with either a single quotation or double quotation, it has to end with the same. I am creating a string. If I don't end this string with single quotation, because the string is started with a single quotation, now as per the Python standards, it has to end with the single quote. In case if we try to end it with double quotation like this, now we will get the syntax error, because a string in Python, it has to end with the same. If it is starting with a single quotation, it has to end with a single quote. If it is starting with a double quotation, then it has to end with a double quotation. How can we create a multi-line string? This is called a single line string because entire string is in single line. What if we wanted to create a multi-line string where our string will be on multiple lines? If I try to create a multi-line string with single quotation mark or double quotation mark, we will get the syntax error. In order to create the multi-line string, we will have to use either 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. Now we can see we don't have any error. We did not get any error and we are able to print the string successfully to the console. Let me just create another multi-line string with 3 double quotes. We can see that we are able to print the string. This is how we can create multi-line string. So just remember that in order to create a multi-line string, we will have to use 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. Let's see how we can access a portion of the string. Now we have a string called A. The value is hello. What if we wanted to access a portion of or a part of string? How do we access? To access a part of the string, we can use index. I am trying to print a part of the string. The string is A. The variable, this is a variable which contains the string on which we need to access the data. From the variable A, we are trying to access first character. We need to supply the index number. In Python, index will always start from 0. Since we are trying to access the first character, we need to supply the index 0. Now execute the code. We will see the first character is printed. In the same way, if we try to access any character, I am trying to access the third character. So I will have to supply the index 2 since index number starts with 0. Now we can see the L is printed. This is called positive indexing. Now what will happen if we try to access the index which doesn't exist? From the given string, the maximum index which we can access is, if we look at the string, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the maximum index which we can access. Let me just try to access the index 4. The last character is printed. If we try to access index 5, we will get the error because that index doesn't exist in the string which we have. Now let us talk about negative indexing. We can also access a part of the string using negative indexing. Negative indexing starts from -1, -1, -2, -3 and so on. When we pass negative indexing, it will access the characters from the right to left. If we pass positive indexing, it will access the character from left to right. If I execute it, we can see the character O is printed because -1 is a negative indexing. Now this will try to access the elements or characters from right to left, just like this. Now let us talk about slicing. Slicing is to get a part of the string. We will have to specify a start index and the end index separated by a colon. For example, here we have the string called hello world. Now we are trying to print from index 2 to index 5. Always remember, here 2 is a start index, 5 is an end index. Start index is always included and end index is always excluded. If we print it, we will see LLO is printed. That is because we are trying to access the string from index 2 to index 5. What is index 2 here? Index 0, index 1 and this is index 2. From here, index 3, index 4, index 5. As we discussed, end index is always excluded. We will not take the end index, which is why LLO is printed. Index 2, 3, 4 will get printed. If we don't specify the start index, then the range will start from the first character. We can see hello is printed from the beginning to character 5, the index 5. What will happen if you don't specify the end index? The range will start from the specified index. The range will go to the end. We can see from index 2 to end is printed. We can also access this string with negative indexing. I am trying to access from index -6 to -2. We can see W, O or L is printed. That is because -6 is W. Since it is the start index, W will be taken, and then -2 is D. As we discussed, end index is always excluded, so we will not take D. From W to L is printed. Now, how do we modify strings? There are a couple of ways to modify string. The first method is upper. This method can be used to convert the string from lowercase to uppercase. We can see the string is converted to uppercase. Other method we can use is lower. This is to convert the string to lowercase. All characters are converted to lowercase. The other method we have is strip. To remove white spaces, we can use the method strip. White space is the space before and after the actual text, and very often you want to remove these spaces. In that case, we can use the strip method, which will remove any white spaces from the beginning or the end of the string. If I execute this, we can see the string is printed without any leading or trailing white spaces. We can also specify the characters. Let's say this is our string. Now we are trying to remove any leading or trailing characters, which is H. Now we are trying to remove leading and trailing characters H from the string A. Here we can see the strip method has removed these characters and printed the string. And we have replace. This method can be used to replace any character in the given string. Now we are trying to replace character H with J on string A. The character H in the given string is replaced with J. Here we can see. The next method is split. This method splits the string into substrings if it finds instances of the separator. Separator is a character which we need to supply when we use this method. Now we have a string called A. Now we are using split method on this string, and we are passing a separator which is comma. If we execute this code, we will get a list where the string is separated with comma. Now hello is one word, world is another word. There are so many other string methods which we can use on a string. Let's see how we can concatenate two strings or multiple strings. We have two strings A and B, and we are creating a string called C. The string C is a concatenation of A and B. To concatenate two strings, we can use the arithmetic operator plus symbol. Now A plus B will return the results hello world. This is how we can concatenate two strings. To concatenate the strings, we will use plus symbol. Not only two strings, we can concatenate as many strings as we need. Here we can see we are concatenating string A and then space. This is also the string because it is surrounded by quotes, and then string B. If we execute the code, we will see the output where these three strings are concatenated. We can see hello world space in between. If we want to concatenate a string with integer, how do we do? We have variables A and B. A is a string and B is an integer. Now we wanted to concatenate A and B. Is it possible to concatenate A and B using plus symbol? No, it is not possible. We will get the error. We cannot concatenate string and integer. Okay, now how do we achieve this? In order to combine a string and integer, we will have to use formatting. What is formatting? Before the string, we will have to use the character F. So Python interpreter will interpret it as a formatting string. Now we can see my age is 10 is printed. This is how we will concatenate strings with integers. Two things. One is before the string we will have to mention f, and then wherever we have to supply the value we will have to use curly braces within the string, and then we can pass the value or the variable. This is how we can concatenate strings with integers. Now let us talk about escape character in strings. If we wanted to escape any character, how do we do that? I have created a string. Inside that string, I need to mention my student name, which is surrounded by quotes. Now if we execute this, we will get the error, which is syntax error. That is because, as we discussed earlier in Python, from the beginning of the quote, wherever it finds the next quote, the string ends there. So this is the string is, and then after that the entire text what we have written is invalid, which is why it will complain saying that syntax error. So what I wanted to do here, I wanted to escape the single character within my string, which is those single characters which we are using for the student name. How do we do that? We can use backslash character. So in Python, to escape any character, we will have to use backslash followed by the character which we need to escape. So Python can ignore that character and start reading the other characters. Now we can see we are able to print the string as we expected. If we look at the other string, which is B, if this is the case, we don't have to escape the single quote because the string is started with double quote. So it doesn't care if there are any single quotes within the string. It will only care about double quote, which is why we will not get the error. But this is how we can escape any character. Just remember, to escape any character, we will have to use backslash followed by the character which we need to escape. That's all for today. See you in next video. Thank you.